She doesn't remember killing him, but his wolf does. Every time Kane Blackthorn transforms, he relives the moment of his death at her hands from countless past lives. His pack demands vengeance, urging him to retaliate. Yet, he stands torn. How can he bring himself to kill the very woman who might hold the key to freeing him from this curse? Kane hits the forest floor hard. His bones crack first, the sound like green wood splitting. Muscles tear next, fibers snapping under skin that's peeling back. He claws at the damp earth as his jaw unhinges, teeth grinding against each other. The transformation always hurts, but what follows is worse. The vision slams into him. The witch's hands clamp around his throat, her thumbs pressing into his windpipe. He feels the exact angle her knife enters his chest in the year 1783, just below the fourth rib. The poison she used in 1921 burns through his veins, as fresh as the day she poured it down his throat. His body remembers every death she's given him, and the wolf keeps score. His pack circles as tremors take over his body. A young warrior steps forward with a water skin, but Garrett, his beta, his challenger, pulls him back. Don't touch him during the visions. Malcolm kneels beside Kane, speaking low in Salagi. The wolf doesn't lie, Alpha. The witch walks again. We must find her. Kane's shoulder scars split open, old wounds weeping fresh blood onto fallen leaves. His fingers spasm against dirt and roots. Through the wolf's senses, he smells parchment and old wood, a university library. He sees her hands flipping through records, searching. Boston.
She's in Boston.
The words taste like copper on his tongue. Derek kicks a nearby tree, a growl rising in his throat. Then we find her. We end this. The pack murmurs agreement, their stances shifting, hands twitching toward weapons, shoulders squaring. By tradition, wolf visions are warnings. Their ancestors would have already been riding east, hunting knives strapped to their thighs. Yet, Malcolm casts the bones, reading the twisted knot pattern they form. The curse feeds on itself. He says, finger tracing the cluster. She may not know what she is this time. Garrett kicks the dirt. We don't need bones to tell us what's plain. The witch dies. That's our way. His hand rests on his hunting knife, its edge gleaming silver. Malcolm doesn't look up. Our way also says curses have two ends. Cut the wrong one, and the knot tightens. His finger traces the spiral. This isn't just a vision. It's an echo. She's bound to him as much as he's bound to the wolf. Kane's nails dig crescents into his palms as the wolf shows him more. Nora's locks spilling over her desk, the scar on her left thumb, the way she bites her lip reading old texts. He shouldn't recognize these details. He's never met this version of her. Yet his pulse jumps when her mouth forms the words, Shadow Claw. The truth slams into him. She's researching them. Malcolm, Kane rasps. Search the old records. Find mentions of her. Garrett steps forward. You saw where she is. Why wait? Because the wolf didn't show me a hunt. It showed me a woman in a cardigan with a coffee stain on her sleeve, squinting at microfiche. No weapons, no spells, just a historian connecting dots she shouldn't know exist. Kane stands, knees shaking. I need more than a location. I need to know what we're walking into. My grandfather told me about the Rexer blood debt. The witch's sister died screaming. Now she makes our alpha bleed for it every full moon. Garrett growled at Kane. You knew. You never told the pack your curse was Rexor business. Silence fills the clearing. 12 pairs of eyes lock on to Kane's scars. Malcolm tenses. He's the only other one who knew. The lie had seemed necessary when Kane took leadership. Now it frays the pack's edges. Kane picks up the knucklebone, his teeth marks still visible from when Nanahi first cursed him. Your ancestor didn't just kill her sister. He made sure I took the blame. The bone cracks in his grip. Tell me, Garrett, why's that detail missing from Rexer family stories? Garrett whips out his knife. 3 warriors mirror him. The rest shift stance, some toward Garrett, some toward Kane. The split happens quietly. No snarls, just boots scuffing dirt as lines form. Your wolf's been screaming kill her for weeks. You won't listen, so the pack chooses for you. He levels the knife at Kane. Challenge. Kane's wolf snarls, urging him to snatch Garrett's heart from his chest. Malcolm steps between them. An alpha challenge has been made and will commence in 3 days, per our laws. Kane rises to his full height, letting his wolf surface just enough for his eyes to gleam. Challenge accepted. He spat, and it landed on Garrett's boot. You want blood. Then look at mine. 3 centuries of deaths, and I'm still standing. Still alpha. He moves toward Garrett, who unconsciously backs away. This witch has killed me 100 times over. You really think a few wolves alone can handle her? Malcolm steps forward. Alpha is right. Kill her now. And the curse digs deeper. We need her alive. We need her willing. She won't be. Garrett's grip on his knife tightens, but the challenge in his stance wavers. That reading says it feeds on itself. Why would she lift a curse that keeps giving her revenge? We move as a pack. Kane commands. All of us. Now, no one does anything stupid to get themselves killed. He looks at each wolf in turn. The hollow, the curse, all of it waits. If the witch dies, nothing else matters. One by one, the wavering rules step back to Kane's side. Even Garrett supporters look uncertain now. Later, at the South Ridge, Malcolm slides Kane a folder. University staff records. Dr. Eleanor Whitaker. The photo hits like a physical blow. There's the scar on her thumb, silver streaking her locks. His throat tightens, remembering her hands. Malcolm's voice drops. Garrett took 6 warriors east an hour ago. We tried to stop them. Kane pushes past him, the wolf howling behind his teeth. Each step toward Boston makes his scars burn hotter. The pack wants vengeance. The wolf demands answers. He's not sure which drives him anymore. At the trailhead, Malcolm catches up. They left these. He holds out copies of Nora's research. Court transcripts from the 1692 trials. Kane recognizes the handwriting slant, the curled E's. He's seen in every life she's ended him. The last page carries a note. Yona didn't betray me. I made him wear the betrayal so I wouldn't have to. Kane's vision doubles. For a moment, he's not holding paper, but the bone charm she used for the first curse. The wolf snarls, remembering what he can't. Her tears hitting the charm as she chanted. The journal page burns through Kane's jacket. Nora's note whispers, I made him wear the betrayal so I wouldn't have to. His wolf howls, shaking the bones in his pocket. Kane turns north. Behind him, the pack falls in line. The hunt begins. Nora jerks awake with the taste of iron in her mouth. Her hands clutch at her throat, nails digging into skin that was bruised 300 years ago. The motel sheets tangle around her legs. The clock reads 3:17 a.m. Same as last night, same as the night before that. She stumbles to the bathroom. The fluorescents buzz as she scrubs her hands under scalding water. Blood circles the drain, except it isn't real. She knows this. The nightmares leave no marks, but the ache in her palms says otherwise, like she's been gripping something too tight for too long. Her research notes spill across the desk. Page 12 stops her cold. The margin crawls with Cherokee syllabary. She doesn't remember writing it, doesn't even read Salagi, but her index finger traces the characters without hesitation. The translation comes unbidden. The wolf remembers what the man forgets. Beck, her assistant, arrives at dawn. You okay? She picks up Nora's water glass, sniffs it, then sets it down hard. When did you start drinking pennyroyal tea? Nora frowns. She hates pennyroyal. The bitterness clings for hours, but her tongue knows the aftertaste. Beck slides a leather-bound journal across the desk. Found this in special collections. Verification request from your email last week. The cover cracks as she opens it. Funny thing, the accession record says it arrived yesterday. But look at page 43. Nora's finger trembles as she turns the brittle pages. The handwriting matches hers exactly. The slant, the way the T's cross low. The date reads March 12th, 1692. Ingredients for binding: wolf tooth taken under raining moon, hair of the accused, salt from a widow's table. The spell must be cast with a heart full of vengeance and empty of doubt. Nora's thumb brushes an ink blot. Suddenly she's standing in a freezing hollow, snow crunching under her bare feet. A man kneels before her, his wrists lashed with red cord. She's chanting words that scorch her tongue. The wolf tooth in her palm burns black.
Nora? Beck snaps her fingers.
You went somewhere.
The journal falls open to a sketched symbol. 2 crescents, back to back. Nora's pencil moves without thought, adding a third curve between them.
This was missing, she murmurs. The original design had 3 phases.
Beck goes very still. That journal's been locked in climate control since 1984. How could you know what's missing?
The clock ticks.
Nora's finger finds a stain on page 67. The brown smear flakes away under her nail. Blood. Old blood. The vision returns. A different night. A different death. Her hands pressing a silver dagger into a man's chest. His fingers twine with hers as the blade goes in.
Again? He whispers.
Her coffee cup shatters on the floor.
Let's head to the library,
Beck said, pushing Nora to the bathroom to dress.
There's something you need to see.
The drive across campus was silent, Nora's hands still trembling from the vision. The library's granite facade loomed against the morning sky, its windows dark despite the sunshine. Later, as they settled at a desk in the reference section, Beck slaps a microfiche printout down.
Compare the handwriting.
Nora's mind is on fire. The 1692 Salem deposition transcripts swim in front of Nora, line after line in her own hand. Details no historian could know. The exact weight of the silver shackles, the prayer whispered by the jailer's daughter. She knows these facts like she knows the scar on her thumb. Muscle memory deeper than scholarship. Across the library, a window rattles. Nora's head snaps up. The street below seethes with shadows despite the midday sun. Her pulse spikes. Some part of her expects to see wolf eyes staring back. A book cart crashes over behind them. B yelps. Nora spins to find 3 men in leather jackets fanning out through the stacks. The tallest one sniffs the air like he's caught a scent. B grabs Nora's wrist.
We need to go. Now.
The journal falls open again as Nora shoves it into her bag. The final page shows a crude drawing. A wolf with its teeth around a woman's throat. Underneath, in fresh ink that shouldn't be there, she comes for you already. Nora's fingers brush the bone charm at her neck, a habit she can't remember starting. The smooth surface vibrates under her touch. The fluorescents flicker. Big gasps.
Your eyes, she whispers.
They're silver. Outside, glass shatters. Heavy footsteps pound toward them. The men aren't men anymore. Their shoulders hunch. Their nails scrape the tile. Nora should run, should scream, but her hands move on their own. Flipping to page 1 of the journal, a shadow looms in the doorway. Broad shoulders block the exit. Dark eyes lock onto hers. The wolf in them flinches when she stands. For the first time in 400 years, Nora hears herself speak words she doesn't understand.
Nigad he, ayeliko yusti, Yona.
The man, Kane, his name is Kane, stumbles back like she struck him. His mouth forms a word, Nanyehi. The tallest hunter raises a crossbow. The arrow whistles through the air, and time stops. Silver burns through Kane's flesh like liquid fire, the impact driving him to his knees. The impact cracks tile. Nora stumbles back. Everything in her shouts to run, but the man's, Kane's, eyes lock onto hers as his fingers claw at the wound. Gold bleeds into the brown. His mouth opens, but what comes out isn't human. It's the sound of bones breaking. His shoulder dislocates first. The pop echoes between bookshelves. Then his jaw. His teeth lengthen. Kane chokes on his own scream as it twists into a snarl. This isn't like other moons. The change isn't smooth. His ribs snap one by one, reshaping at wrong angles. Blood sprays from his nose.
Garrett reloads his bow.
Get the witch!
3 hunters rush Nora. Her hands move without thought, palms up, fingers spread. The motion feels older than her bones. The words tumble out in a language she's never learned.
Nigat Saladai.
Garrett's men freeze mid-step. Their eyes roll back. They drop like cut strings. The wolf that was Kane whips its head toward her. Saliva drips from yellowed fangs. The arrow still protrudes from its shoulder, smoking where silver touches fur. Every instinct tells Nora to retreat. Instead, she steps closer. The transformation isn't done. Kane's human skin clings in patches to the wolf's muzzle, its one brown eye lingering too long before flooding with gold. The creature trembles, not from pain, but from an internal battle. The pack's shouts fade into background noise. The library smells like blood and old paper and something electric. Nora reaches out. Her fingers brush the wolf's muzzle. Time fractures. 1692. The Hollow. Snow crunches under Nanyahi's boots as she circles the bound man. Yonya Kane kneels in the ice. His wrists bleed where the red cord bites. He doesn't fight, doesn't beg, just watches her with eyes that know what's coming.
You let them take her, Nanyahi snarls.
The wolf tooth in her palm burns black.
Your pack, your sworn brothers. They dragged a Hyoka into the trees screaming.
I tried.
Yona's voice cracks.
I fought them. Not hard enough.
She slams her fist into his chest. The tooth cuts his skin. Blood wells around the mark.
You swore to protect us. Both of us. Around them, Rexor's men jeer. Elias Rexor himself leans against an oak, smirking. He's the one who put the rope around Yona's hands. The one who whispered lies to Nanyahi's sister about secret meetings in the woods. A Hyoka went to the clearing alone. She trusted her sister's lover would be waiting. Nanyahi presses the tooth into Yona's palm. His fingers close around it instinctively. Mistake. The moment flesh meets bone, the spell catches. She speaks the words her grandmother taught her. Words for binding, for remembrance, for an endless loop of regret. Yona convulses. His spine arches. The first scream isn't human. As fur erupts across his back, Nanyahi sees understanding dawn in his eyes. The curse isn't just punishment. It's a message. One shall deliver personally in every life to come. You will remember. The vision snaps. Nora staggers back. The library swims into focus. Garrett's snarl. Malcolm kicking open the emergency exit. The crossbow aimed at her chest. But all she sees is Kane's wolf. It doesn't attack. It whimpers. Elias Rexor's smirk echoes in Garrett's face. The same chin. Same cruel twist to the mouth. Silver won't kill an alpha, Garrett says, reloading.
But it'll hurt like hell until I put one through your witch's heart. The wolf moves. Not toward Nora, not toward Garrett. It lunges for the journal, lying open on the floor. Teeth close around the page. The drawing of the original curse. The paper blackens where saliva touches ink.
Nora's fingers find the bone charm at her throat. It vibrates against her skin. The charm, the same tooth from the vision, the one she pressed into Yona's palm. Malcolm and the warriors crash through the doors. Garrett's hunters meet them in the aisle between mythology and ancient history. Wood splinters. Someone screams. But in the eye of the storm, Nora and the wolf stare at each other. Gold eyes. Silver. Recognition clicks between them. Nora's mouth forms words before her mind catches up.
You weren't the betrayer. You were the witness.
The wolf's ears flatten. It shudders, not from pain now, but from the weight of 400 years of misdirection. Nora touches her charm again. This time, the vibration travels up her arm. Something buried deep uncoils. Garrett's bolt flies. The wolf leaps. Teeth close around Nora's sleeve and yank her sideways. The arrow buries itself where her heart was.
Malcolm.
The wolf growls, half words, half snarl.
Hello.
Nora doesn't understand, but her hands do. They flip the journal to the last page, a sketch of 2 trees, a creek between them. The place Nanyahi cast the first spell. The bone charm burns against her collarbone, pointing northeast like a compass.
Garrett kicks a bookshelf over. Leather-bound volumes rain down.
Run all you want, Kane. The pack's mine now.
Kane's lips peel back from bloody teeth, but he doesn't attack. His wolf presses against Nora's legs, herding her toward Malcolm. 3 warriors form a barrier with their bodies. Malcolm throws Nora a set of car keys.
Go before he realizes the curse needs both of you dead, he rasps. His arm bleeds from where Garrett's silver grazed him.
The wolf's muzzle nudges Nora's hand. Its breath smells like old blood and pine. The arrow in its shoulder snaps off as it moves. Fresh wounds open along its ribs, scars from past lives splitting anew. Nora doesn't hesitate. She grips the scruff of the wolf's neck. Together, they run. Nora's scream tears through the night, ancient and raw, rattling the rearview mirror. In the back seat, Kane bleeds, his wolf form pressed against the leather, silver poison spreading through his veins. The vision hits her like a physical blow. Snow. Her hands. No. Nanyahi's hands. Weaving red cord around Yona's wrists. The same pattern Kane bears in his scars now. The truth crashes through her. Yona never betrayed them. Rexor had lied, turning her ancestral fury toward an innocent man. Kane's golden eyes catch her gaze in the mirror. She knows those eyes, has seen them fill with heartbreak, not rage, in lifetime after lifetime. The journal slides off the dashboard, falling open to reveal her own handwriting.
A wolf's memory outlasts stone. Yona will wear his failure in every life.
Her hands shake as she pulls the car over. Kane stumbles out, bones cracking as he shifts back to human form. The scars on his bare back match her memory perfectly. Every mark she'd given him across 4 centuries of vengeance.
You remember now.
Kane's voice comes rough, blood trickling from his nose. The silver poisoning spreads in black lines across his skin.
Tears streak down Nora's face as understanding floods her.
The journal wasn't research.
She whispers.
It was a ledger of your deaths. Each entry flashes through her mind. 1783, strangulation. 1921, poison. Her hands, dealing death in every lifetime. Headlights appear in the distance. Darrett's hunters, coming to finish what her curse began. The bone charm at her throat burns, humming with ancient power. Without thinking, Nora presses the wolf teeth charm to Kane's wound. Words rise from somewhere deep inside.
Dihina Geveyui. Silver smoke curls from the puncture as Kane shouts, but the poisoned veins recede. Since when do you know healing spells? Kane gasps, hauling himself into the car.
Nora guns the engine as the journal flips to its final page. 3 trees by a creek bed. The hollow where it all began, where it must end.
I don't.
She says, the wolf tooth cooling against her skin.
She does.
Engines roar behind them. The hunt won't stop until the curse breaks, or they're dead. Maybe not even then. Steel and chrome surrounded them as the pack's vehicles closed in. Nowhere left to run. Nora's scream of frustration echoed as she slammed on the brakes. Malcolm's hands trembled as he held the last page of the journal, sweat making the ancient ink run. Elias Rexor set the wolf upon a hyoka.
He announced, voice cutting through the engine noise.
Yona was framed.
Garrett's boot crushed the journal. Lies!
The bones in his pocket rattled, the same ones he'd used to accuse Nora, now damned his own bloodline. Malcolm scattered his own bones across the hood. Fox vertebrae, bear claws. They landed in a perfect pattern. A wolf chasing a woman, a third figure lurking in shadow. The truth, written in bone. The silver knife rasped against leather as Garrett drew it.
Rexors don't murder women in the woods.
He snarled, circling the bone pattern.
We protect the pack.
Nora's fingers closed around the bone charm, the wolf tooth burning against her palm. Ancient words rose unbidden to her lips. Rexor means he watches. That's all your ancestor did while the hyoka screamed. The night erupted in chaos. Car lights exploded in showers of white sparks. Shadows danced through the trees. The air hummed with something older than electricity, deeper than time. Garrett lunged. Silver flashed toward Nora's throat. Kane's change came with the sound of cracking bones and tearing muscle. But halfway to Wolf, Kane froze. His human hand locked around Garrett's wrist, holding the knife an inch from Nora's pulse. Look at the bones, Kane growled through gritted teeth. His claws drew blood from Garrett's arm. Malcolm lifted a fox vertebra.
8 kills,
he said.
pointing to marks that matched the scars on Kane's back. 8 times your family made sure someone else paid the price. Garrett thrashed, clawing at Kane's face.
That witch cursed our alpha. She hunted you through lifetimes.
Hours surged through Nora. The charm in her fist blazed like captured lightning. Bones swirled in a phantom wind.
She hunted me, Kane's voice cut through the chaos. Because your family lied. You knew enough. That's why you rushed to kill her before she remembered.
A pack member emerged from the shadows, clutching a journal bound in wolf hide.
Garrett's great-grandfather's words. He opened to a marked page.
Cleanse the blood debt, written over and over.
Garrett's silver knife hit the ground. His gaze darted between faces, some gripping weapons, others just watching, waiting. Kane released him, but his stance remained predatory, dominant.
Right.
He growled, eyes gleaming with promised violence.
Like your ancestor ran from his crimes.
A heartbeat of silence. Then Garrett dove for the knife. Kane's boot pinned the blade.
Enough, he growled, teeth gleaming as he slammed Garrett's head into the ground.
The power drained from Nora. The floating bones clattered to the hood. Only the charm stayed hot, leaving angry red marks on her palm.
She looked at Kane, at his scars, at the man who died for her mistake through centuries.
She won't forgive you. Garrett spat blood, crawling away.
She already has, Kane said. Garrett sneered from the safety of the forest.
Mercy won't break a blood curse.
Malcolm gathered the bones, fingers brushing the journal's damning words. Yona was framed. Thunder rolled across the sky. The storm carried the sharp scent of pine from the hollow. Where it began, where it had to end. Kane offered the silver knife to Nora.
Make it hurt.
The blade hummed in her hand, familiar as an old friend.
Malcolm watched the rain start.
The curse will not go easy.
Lightning split the sky. In the library windows, their reflections vanished, replaced by 2 figures in a moonlit clearing. A woman with a wolf's tooth, a man with bound wrists. Then darkness swallowed division. Only the choice remained. The hollow lay like an ancient wound in the earth, its moss-slicked walls curving down into shadow. Gnarled roots from century-old trees pierced through the stone sides, creating a natural altar where generations of witches had worked their craft. Even now, with the eclipse's strange half-light filtering through the canopy, old magic seemed to pulse beneath the moss, waiting, watching, remembering. Malcolm scatters the bones across the hollow's moss-covered stone. They land in a cracked spiral, fox vertebrae, crow skull, wolf ribs bleached white. The old man's hands shake as he traces the pattern.
Magic tied by blood, he murmurs.
Must be undone by blood. The last bone shudders into place. A human finger bone. Nora's stomach lurches as she steps back. Around the clearing, pack members watch in silence. Only Kane stands motionless, his scars visible through the torn shirt, glowing faintly in the eclipse's eerie light.
You think dying fixes this?
Nora's voice cracks. Kane moves between her and Malcolm.
The curse took your vengeance and tied our souls together. Undoing it could unravel us both.
The realization comes with a wave of dizziness. She's been having his dreams, feeling his scars.
Nora's research notes spill from her satchel. Pages flutter open to her sketch of the original spell. 3 phases, not 2. She always thought it was a mistake. Now, she sees the truth. Nanyehi didn't just bind Yona to the wolf. She tied herself to him.
Kane's fingers brush the journal. You wanted me to remember.
His voice drops.
Now I do, but you never let me explain. The hollow shifts. Suddenly she's standing in snow, watching Yona wrestle 3 snarling wolves. His blood stains the white. Ahioka screams echo from the trees. Nanyehi sobs over her broken body. Yona staggers from the trees, face shredded.
Elias set them loose.
He gasps.
I tried to.
You swore.
Nanyehi screams. The wolf tooth in her hand glows black. She doesn't listen. doesn't see the truth in his wounds. The spell spills out, half curse, half grief. Malcolm's voice cuts through the vision. The bones have changed. The pattern has rearranged itself, vertebrae linking together like chains. The crow skull perched atop the human finger bone.
It's not asking for death. It's asking for surrender.
Nora knows what surrender means in wolf terms. Bared throat, absolute trust. 400 years of lessons scream that Kane's teeth will meet her flesh. Kane kneels, exposing his scarred neck. The eclipse swallows the sun's last rays. The bone charm burns against her chest. She kneels. Her fingers find Kane's scars. The raised lines match the red cord patterns from that winter night. The curse wasn't punishment. It was a desperate, furious plea. Make me believe you. The eclipse reaches totality. Nora presses the bone charm into Kane's palm. His fingers close around it. Not a weapon given in rage, but an offering returned. The wolf tooth shatters. Golden light pours from Kane's mouth. His eyes, the old scars splitting open. Shadows twist up from the hollow center, forming shapes of every iteration caught in the cycle. Their blood mingles where the bone charm's fragments cut them both. The eclipse whispers overhead. Then, silence. The world tilts. Kane catches her, but his arms feel distant. Wrong. The last thing she sees before darkness takes her is Kane's face, finally unguarded, finally free of scars, as he realizes the truth. Breaking the curse doesn't kill them. It erases them from each other. The hollow goes silent as the eclipse reaches totality. Moonlight bleeds red over Kane's hands, where they grip the shattered bone charm. His knuckles whiten. Something inside him tears loose. The wolf's hooks pulling free after centuries. The pain is worse than any transformation, worse than dying. Nora's mouth fills with copper. The bone fragments cut her palms. Blood drips onto the altar stone, sizzling where it touches. Her magic isn't just in the charm now. It's in the air, the trees, the way her breath comes too fast but her hands stay steady.
Let it go, she whispers. Not to Kane, to herself.
His eyes meet hers, human now, but somehow wilder than the wolf ever was.
Say it.
His voice cracks.
Tell me you believe me.
The words stick like glass shards. 400 years of certainty crumble. When she speaks, it's not English, not Salagi. The language is older. The first spells counter.
Yuna didn't betray us.
Kane's shoulders slump. A sound escapes him. Half sob, half howl. The wolf answers from the trees. Not a threat, a farewell. From the tree line, Garrett moves like lightning. Silver flashes in his grip. Malcolm shouts. The pack surges, too slow. The knife aims from Nora's spine. Kane steps into the blade. Silver punches through his ribs with a wet crunch. The tip stops a finger's width from Nora's back. Warmth seeps through her shirt. Kane's blood. Again, always. Time fractures. 1783. Nora, no, another version, presses a dagger between Yona's ribs. His fingers brush hers as the blade goes in. The same look in his eyes. Not anger, relief. Kane's knees hit the hollow stone altar. His fingers claw at the knife in his chest. The wolf in him tears at the seams, fighting to save its vessel. Too late. Nora screams. The sound shakes leaves from the trees. The pack turns on Garrett, making him stagger back. I didn't mean. They circle him. His cowardly attack on their alpha from behind sealed his fate. Garrett would not see another sunrise. Malcolm pulls the silver blade free. The wound sucks at the metal. Kane gasps. His hands find Nora's shoulders, not pushing her away, holding on. Look, he rasps. The wolf's shadow stretches long across the hollow. No snarls, no bared teeth, just a bow of its massive head. One last gesture to the woman who hunted it through lifetimes. Then the darkness unravels. Kane's heartbeat stutters against Nora's palm. The rhythm falters. His pupils swallow the gold. Not like this, she snarls. Not a plea, a command. The trees shudder. Wind whips through the hollow.
carrying voices from the past. Nanyehi's rage, Ioka's screams, Elias Rexor's poisoned whispers. Nora ignores them all. She presses her forehead to Kane's. Blood smears between them. The bone charm's remnants dig into her skin. A memory surfaces, not a death this time. A lesson from Nanyehi's grandmother. The first rule of unwinding. Magic made by pain can only be undone by something harder. Nora exhales. Her magic coils tight in her chest. 4 centuries of hunting. 4 centuries of being hunted. It all comes down to this moment. To a choice no one taught her how to make. She grips Kane's face.
You don't get to leave me with the truth and no way to fix it.
Her hands glow. Not silver like before. Gold. The color of Kane's eyes in the seconds before dawn. The light seeps into his mouth, his nose. The wound in his chest knits shut, not healing, but sealing, preserving. The world narrows to the pulse under her fingers. Slower now. Fainter. Kane's lips move. No sound comes out. She doesn't need it. She knows. This isn't forgiveness. It's the last gift of a wolf who remembered too much. The eclipse breaks. First light crests the hollow's edge. It touches Kane's still face. The pack's howls rise around them. She reaches for the bone shards instead. The wolf's remaining tether. The last piece of the curse. Magic thrums in her hands. Not Nyanye's rage. Not Ahioka's ghost. Just Dr. Eleanor Whitaker. Historian, skeptic. Woman who spent years chasing a past she didn't know was hunting her back. The bones crumble to dust. The hollow holds its breath. Garrett falls to his knees, dead. The knife reflecting dawnlight mocks them all. Kane doesn't wake. The truth settles heavy in Nora's gut as she kneels beside his body. His chest doesn't move. The eclipse light paints his face gray. Malcolm places a hand on her shoulder, his grip tight with warning. Some magic can't be undone. His voice is rough.
Equivalent exchange isn't just a rule. It's a chain.
She shrugs him off. Some debts can't be paid with apologies. Some bonds can't be broken with sacrifice. The pack rates. The world turns. Nora lifts her face to the sun. She has one spell left. Her hands shake, not from fear but from the power building under her skin. Silver streaks through her locks like lightning, spreading strand by strand. The journal said nothing about this. The words come without thought.
Anivikia.
The old tongue fits her mouth too well. The bone dust at her knees swirls. A pattern forms. 3 circles overlapping. Life, death, the space between. The magic hums louder now. She presses her palm to Kane's still chest. The wound under his torn shirt pulses once. Black tendrils retreat from the edges. Her own breath hitches. The first law of witchcraft carves itself into her bones. Nothing given, nothing gained. Kane's fingers twitch. His eyelashes flutter. Nora's vision blurs. The world tilts. Her ribs contract like a vice is squeezing them. She gasps, but no air comes. The magic isn't healing Kane. It's rerouting. Taking her breath and forcing it into his lungs. Taking her pulse and stitching it into his veins. Malcolm shouts. Hands grab at her. Too late. The transfer has already started. Kane's eyes snap open. Gold again, but softer now. His lips form her name. No sound comes out. Nora collapses forward. Her forehead presses against his. The silver in her locks spreads faster, devouring the dark. She whispers 3 words in Salagi, the ones she should have said centuries ago. The ones that might have stopped all this. Kane understands. His fingers clutch at her sweater as the magic completes its work. His chest rises. Hers stills. Morning light breaks over the hollow. The pack goes silent. Malcolm bows his head. Kane sits up. Nora slumps into his arms. Her skin looks ashen, the silver in her hair outshining the dawn. He cradles her against his chest, waiting for a breath that doesn't come. His own pulse thrums strong. Hers is gone. His fingers brush Nora's cheek. The faintest warmth lingers there. Then it's gone. The pack circles them. No one speaks. The curse is broken. The price is paid. Malcolm reaches for Nora's journal. The pages flutter open to the last entry. Fresh ink glistens, lines that weren't there before. Kane takes the book with shaking hands. He reads the words aloud. His voice doesn't crack. Magic requires sacrifice. True magic requires love. He stops, turns the page, blank. Kane stands with Nora in his arms. The pack parts for him. No one asks where he's going. They already know. The hollow's trees whisper as he carries her toward the rising sun. Her journal stays behind. The last page winks in the morning light, still blank, still waiting. For the first time in 400 years, the pack's weapons stay sheathed. The hunt is over. A crow calls from the trees. The sound echoes like a laugh, like a promise. Somewhere, a clock starts ticking. The city library smells like old paper and lemon cleaner. Kane walks through the stacks 6 months after the hollow. 6 months since Nora's body vanished in his arms. His boots scuffed tile worn smooth by decades of footsteps. He doesn't need to check the call number. The book he wants will be waiting. It always is. The clerk at the research desk looks up. Dark brown skin, silver strands glittering through her locks. The overhead lights catch her bone structure. High cheekbones, full lips, the exact curve of Nora's jaw. Her name tag says, Eleanor. Kane's pulse jumps. His scars don't ache anymore, but something in his chest tightens when she smiles.
Can I help you?
Her voice lacks recognition. Friendly, professional, a stranger's tone. But when he slides the call slip across the counter, her fingers tremble.
Special collections. The Whitaker journals. He watches her pupils dilate. She blinks.
Those require advance notice. Her throat moves as she swallows.
We don't just... I know.
Kane cuts her off as he leans on the counter, smelling her lavender soap and something underneath, the faintest hint of pennyroyal. Nora's scent. The clerk's fingers hover over the keyboard. Her nail polish is chipped. The left thumb has a scar across the cuticle. Kane remembers that scar from when she pressed poison into his wine glass. The printer whirs. She passes him the request form. Their fingers don't touch. When he sits in the reading room, 20 minutes later, the journal arrives in someone else's hands, a student worker with thick glasses. But when Kane opens the cover, the last page is new. Fresh ink glistens under the archival lamps. Some debts can't be repaid. Some bonds can't be broken. Nora's handwriting, or the clerk's, or maybe no one's. The date reads, yesterday. Kane exhales through his nose. 6 months of chasing this feeling. 6 months of libraries in 6 different states. Always the same journal. Always a different woman with silver-streaked locks working the desk. No recognition until today. He watches through the stacks as the clerk, Eleanor, picks up the returned journal. She's not supposed to open it. Rules say the materials go straight back to storage, but her fingers flip to the last page. She traces the words with her index finger. A tear falls on the entry. Kane steps out from between the shelves. She jumps. The journal slams shut. I'm sorry, she says.
We can't. Yona. Kane interrupts.
Her breath catches. The pupils of her brown eyes flash gold for half a second. The air smells like ozone and old magic. Then it's gone.
She touches her throat. That book wasn't supposed to?
Kane reaches for her hand, stops short.
Nah.
The name hangs between them. She doesn't recoil, doesn't correct him, just stares at his outstretched fingers like she remembers how they feel. The journal falls open on the desk between them. The pages flip themselves to the beginning, blank, every entry gone. The clerk reaches for it. Her sleeve rides up. A faded scar circles her wrist, the kind left by rope burn. Kane remembers the exact pattern. Remembers Nanyehi tying those knots in 1692. Her fingers touch the first blank page.
I had a dream,
she whispers. About wolves, about a hollow. Kane's pulse hammers. No gold in his veins anymore. No wolf under his skin. But something older stirs when she meets his eyes.
Did we... She stops, shakes her head, laughs like it's ridiculous. Never mind. The journal lies open between them. Blank pages waiting.
Kane picks up the pen from the desk, slides it toward her.
Tell me the dream.
Outside, wind rattles the library windows. Somewhere in the trees across the street, a shadow moves, larger than a dog, quieter than a man. The clerk doesn't see it. Kane does. The wolf watches. It doesn't howl.
The clerk, Eleanor, Nora, picks up the pen. Her fingers steady now, certain. She touches the first blank page, and ink blooms where her fingertips meet paper. Words form without her writing them. Begin again.
Kane exhales. 6 months of searching. 4 centuries of cycles.
He pulls out the chair beside her. The wood creaks, an ancient sound, like time settling. Through the library windows, shadows stretch long across worn tile. The wolf in the trees tilts its head, watching. Not with hunger now, but with something like peace.
Start from the beginning, he says.
Sunlight catches the silver in her locks, bright as moonlight on water. Her eyes meet his, brown, human, knowing. Some bonds refuse to break. Some stories demand retelling. But this time, they choose how it ends.
The first word she writes is remember. Outside, the wolf turns away. Leaves rustle. A bell chimes 5 times, and the cycle breaks.